Hey guys, what's up? Tmoney here, Travis. Uh, just got back from finally having some fun. Finally saw the movie Argylle, however you say it. I still don't know how you actually say it, even though they said it in the movie 1,800 times, but I feel like it was said different by different people. But it's a movie with Henry Cavill, Bryce Dallas Howard, um, and so much more. Sam Rockwell's in it. You've got Bryan Cranston playing the bad guy. You've got John Cena. You've got a cameo by Dua Lipa. Um, the movie's wild. Let me just say that. But not always in a good way. Like as you know, I think it's directed by Matthew Vaughn, and he did The Kingsman, which I liked the first Kingsman quite a bit. Now it was over the top, but the second Kingsman I didn't quite like as much. I mean, it was so over the top. Well, that's how Argylle is, and it has a lot of CGI, but it's not that good. Um, it's like they spent all the budget on the cast, and they just really just did some quick CGI, some like fast stuff, like I don't know, off the wall, unbelievable stuff. Like a car, going down a guardrail, like it's Tony Hawk, or just wild stuff. But the movie, is I know they showed some of it in the previews, but it's a little all over the place, a lot of misdirection, bad special effects. I actually liked all the actors. They all did a good job in the basic script. I think would have totally worked if it wasn't so over the top. I mean, the last 20 minutes of this movie is a straight up cartoon. Um, and I really like what it was going for, because we need more of that, more fun. But like, it wanted to be like an action spy romance movie. It's like that was the core. I wonder if that was a rough draft somewhere. But then it turned into like a comedy that was also trying to do their dark romantic comedy, spy thriller. And, it was just all over the place, way too over the top. Bad CGI, bad special effects. Henry Cavill and John Cena aren't in it as much as you think, although they are in it. But the movie just has a really, like, I think a decent plot that just turned into, Matthew Vaughn just having $100 million to play with or whatever, and it's like a Netflix movie. You know what I mean? Like, what was the movie with Ryan Reynolds and The Rock and Gal Gadot? For some reason, I can't think of the title of it. Like I said, I still have all those personal issues going on, but I cannot think of the title of that movie. But that movie was really over the top with Ryan Reynolds and The Rock and Gal Gadot. I think they were thieves or something, but it was just so. It was hard to believe because it was just so over the top. Well, this is like that times 10. I mean, seriously, just wild, cartoony action. That it does have some funny moments, and that makes some choice. This is what I'm talking about. Like, there's so much about this cat in the trailer and in the movie, and they come to find out the cat doesn't even mean what you think it means, but they still drag the cat along, I guess, as a joke. But it's not that funny, and the cat is totally. I'm pretty sure almost every scene with the cat is CGI. It doesn't even look real. the cat doesn't look like a cat. Like his ears are always down. Now I thought maybe they got like some kind of deformed cat, uh, but I'm telling you, if you look at this cat closely, it's CGI the whole movie. Um, and I'm just like, what? That just seems so unnecessary. And I don't know what it costs to use animals in movies, but to have a CGI cat in your whole movie that's already full of CGI and bad CGI at that, why do you put a CGI cat in there to boot? Like, I mean, there's stray cats on the street. Like, I mean, you can find a cat to use, and not that they, were harming the cat or anything in any scene really, but this cat is like a character, but it's all CGI. It's so weird, and it just has that look to it. What do they call it? My brain is not working, but where something doesn't look real and it just looks off, like the original Sonic character design. But I did, the movie isn't horrible. Like, it has some funny moments. I think Henry Cavill is funny, man. I think he's low key like hilarious. Like, and there's a scene at the very end. Oh, I don't want to spoil it, but he's playing a character you've never seen him play before, and he's good. He's so good. And John Cena must have made a deal with the devil, because he's like in every movie, but he's kind of like, I guess he's maybe a slightly better actor than Vin Diesel, but I wouldn't even put him on par with The Rock. And and I like John Cena, but I don't know. They made some weird choices in this movie. Like, why does Dua Lipa have a cameo? She's literally in the movie for like 2 minutes. She looks pretty, but what does that add to the plot? And if you could cut her out and get some better CGI, why not make that choice? If you could cut out the CGI cat and use the real cat, why not make that choice? Because there's elements to this movie that don't add to the story at all, other than to be like a joke or a pun. But it's not funny if you do it the entire movie. I mean, the entire movie. And it was gonna be like, okay, go see Argylle with somebody, or go see Madam Web. And I just figured, I like Henry Cavill, and this looked like it had more action in it. And I've heard a lot of people say that Madam Web is worse than Morbius, and Morbius was one of the worst comic book movies I've ever seen. And I mean, it was down there with Elektra, and so if Madam Web is like that, although I do like that actress from the 50 Shades movies, and I do like a lot of those. I mean, I'll probably see Madam Web, but probably when it comes out. I mean, or if I have nothing better to do. But getting back to this movie, I did like all the acting. All the actors were great. Just be prepared that what you see going in isn't what is going on exactly. And I mean, of course, there's a plot twists and changes, but there's a lot. And again, even with that, some felt unnecessary or felt like it didn't add to the plot, except to be more cartoony or to make a pun or a joke. So it's just over the top, bad CGI. While some of it's funny and cute, it's kind of like, also like, did you guys ever see, what was that recent movie, Bullet Train? Bullet Train is over the top a little bit, but also very dramatic in certain moments. Like, well, it's like Bullet Train times 100, or it's like I said, is like the Kingsman Part Two. Now, like I like the Kingsman Part Two as far as just being entertainment, and I like Matthew Vaughn. I like all the actors, but I mean, it was just so over the top. There is a post-credit scene. I don't think you have to stay for it. But when you think about the two movies in the movies I've talked about in this review, it totally makes sense. So if you did like this movie, definitely check it out, I guess. But it's nothing like game changing or anything. Well, I guess it depends on how you look at it, but I don't think it's that important because I don't think this movie's getting a sequel. And they just did a third. Well, anyway, you'll see what I mean. But I would give this a 5 or a 6, honestly. The acting is great. The basic storyline is good. But they didn't have to add all these twists and turns. Most of them are just for gags. They really didn't need to have this cat be such a central character. And if it was going to be such a central character, it shouldn't have been all CGI. I mean, but just as far as pure entertainment, I think you guys will enjoy the movie. It's not like terrible or anything. It's not like it's not like a 3 or anything. It's okay, but it's like a Netflix movie, like where like it's got, you can tell they've got a lot of money put into it, but they put all the money into the actors and none into the plot or story. And it is what it is, but it's worth checking out, guys. So don't think of it like I just hated the movie, because I didn't. There are some funny parts, especially with Henry Cavill. Like the dude's he's just awesome. He steals almost every scene he is in, even though what they do with him isn't what you think, so it doesn't always have the impact that you're going to think it's going to have. But I did like the movie. Like I said, it's a 5 or a 6. And this last little section after the 13:20 mark is going to be spoilers, guys. So this is kind of your warning if you want to cut off or whatever. Sorry, I just want to give you my quick reactions. I'm not doing a bunch of headers or intros or anything, but that's your spoiler warning. I'm going to spoilers now. The cat. Oh my God, they made this cat like the central character, and then it turns out at the end of the movie, the lady's not a cat person; she's the dog person. She wasn't a writer whose stories were coming true, like she was some fortune teller or psychic. She was actually a spy that had lost her memory, that's trying to take down the bad CIA or CIA director or whatever it was. It was so forgettable because they kept changing the plot, telling you one thing, and then like another 20 minutes in, they tell you something else, and then they tell you something else, and by the end of it, these two people that you don't think know each other are in love, and they're spies, and they're dog people. They're not cat people, but they keep the cat, and he literally is allergic to cats. It just doesn't like just to keep the cat for a pun at the end of the movie. Now I did like the reveal at the end. I swear the last 5 minutes of this movie almost made it for me because she's she's been saying this whole movie. Uh, what was it about the spies? The bigger the lie, the better the spy, or the better the lie, the bigger the spy. So whatever it is, whatever order that they say that, well, you come to find out that it was some dude in her book club that was always in the audience, and that her Henry. I don't know if it meant that he. I don't think it meant that he was actually a spy for real. But Henry Cavill character, his character was actually this redneck dude in the audience with a big fat dip in his mouth. For people that aren't from the United States, or I'm talking about chewing tobacco, and in a country boy with with a mullet, and it's Henry Cavill, and he's got that slogan on the back of his shirt that says, the greater the spy, the greater the lie, or whatever it is. And then he asked her a question, like, and it was just like that dun, 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 like this. I think it means that the face that she was putting in her stories of Henry Cavill the whole movie was actually just some random crazy fan in her audience that she had noticed for all these years, but hadn't really noticed. And it was redneck chewing tobacco, mullet wearing Henry Cavill, wearing that slogan on the back of his handmade T-shirt or whatever, and it was good. It was funny, but then of course it ends right there. So. But the big reveal being that she was a spy this whole time, that she was never some emotional book writer, and that the things she were writing were elements from her memories that she had lost. So I think that it could have worked, been like a Mr. and Mrs. Smith reunited from like memory loss and espionage and all that. If it had been more dramatic, but it was just so cartoony, over the top, terrible CGI. That didn't really have a chance. And it's Matthew Vaughn, and of course the big reveal in the post-credit scene is that this is tied into the Kingsman universe. But I don't think this movie's getting a sequel, because I don't think it did that well. And I think the trailers misrepresented it, because it came off like a Bullet Train copy to me, and it's not. It's not. But it is over the top like that. But I don't know. A lot of these movies steal from other movies, but I don't know what it is about Matthew Vaughn, but he goes so far over the top, and he's good at it. And it works for like a rated R dark comedy. But the amount of people these people are killing, and there's no blood, and it's just all for gags, and that love smoke scene, fight scene, while cute and pretty, it was just over the top and not realistic or believable. But like I said, I think this movie's worth going to see for Henry Cavill, Sam Rockwell, and Bryce Dallas Howard. They definitely bring their A game. Bryan Cranston was over the top cartoony villain, but I think that's what he was supposed to be, because this movie's over the top. Also, Sam Jackson's in it too. I don't know what it is about John Cena and Sam Jackson. In every movie, they have like this. They must have the, the Epstein's client list or something. Like these guys are in every movie, and of course, Sam Jackson's a great actor, but I just feel like he's just selling out at this point. Like, long gone are the Pulp Fiction days, or whatever. Although I did love the fact that for some reason in his little secret winery warehouse espionage room, he's a huge Laker fan, and I'm pretty sure there's like Shaq and Kobe stuff everywhere, and he's watching the Lakers, and LeBron's playing for the Lakers on the big TV. As you guys know, I'm a big Laker fan, so that was cool. But yeah, man. Sorry, man, guys. But it's an interesting movie. It's over the top. If you like Matthew Vaughn stuff, it's definitely worth checking out. I mean, definitely worth checking out. And probably a matinee or Netflix or something. But it definitely could have been better if it just had. They spent a little more time on the story and CGI, and a little less time just going over the top and using the CGI and cat for gags. But anyway, guys, comment down below if you all saw this movie. Like I said, I don't know if I'm saying it right. Argylle, Argyle or LLE. I don't know. But yeah, let me know what y'all thought. If you've seen this movie, tell me your thoughts on it. I also think last thing about this movie, it's going to depend on what mood the mood you're in going into it. Because if you're drinking or something, this would be a funny movie. Like, I mean, it is funny, but it couldn't put it all together. But guys, that's going to wrap it up for me. Talk to y'all soon. We got another Laker game tomorrow, and we're gonna start talking about the Vols too. But we're gonna do a lot more movie reviews, a lot more reactions. We're gonna stop worrying about stuff and people that we can't control. So, anyway, guys, till next time. You have a good one, and talk soon. Bye.